Between 1968 and 1974, a man who called himself Zodiac terrorized Northern California. He murdered victims at random, sent taunting letters to newspapers, and included cryptic ciphers that he claimed would reveal his identity. Police departments were overwhelmed. Experts were baffled. Entire cities lived in fear. The Zodiac Killer is one of the few serial murderers who communicated openly with the world, and then vanished without ever being caught. Tonight, we dive deep into the chilling mystery. Who was the Zodiac Killer? The story begins on December 20th, 1968. A teenage couple, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were parked on a quiet road near Vallejo, California. A shooter approached their car and opened fire. There was no robbery, no motive, nothing that made sense. 6 months later, another couple was attacked in a parked car. This time, one of the victims survived and gave a chilling description. A heavy-set man, silent, emotionless, holding a flashlight strapped to a gun. The police suspected a pattern, but they had no idea the killer was about to introduce himself. On July 31st, 1969, 3 major newspapers received nearly identical letters. Each was written in a strange, blocky handwriting. Each contained a third of a mysterious cipher. Each was signed with a crosshair-like symbol. In the letters, the killer demanded the newspapers publish his ciphers on the front page, or more people will die. The press complied. Cryptographers and math teachers scrambled to decode the messages. Couples stayed indoors. Police patrols doubled. The Zodiac Killer had declared war on the citizens of California. A week later, a high school teacher and his wife cracked the first Zodiac cipher, known as the 408 cipher. Its message was chilling. "I like killing people because it is so much fun." But the last section of the cipher contained nonsense. The killer claimed it would reveal his name, but it never did. The police realized the Zodiac was playing a game, one he controlled completely. On September 27, 1969, 2 college students were relaxing near Lake Berryessa. A man approached wearing a bizarre black costume, complete with a hood and the Zodiac symbol drawn across his chest. He tied them up and brutally stabbed them. One victim survived long enough to describe the terrifying outfit. Minutes later, the killer called the police from a payphone to report his own crime. This attack revealed a darker truth. The Zodiac didn't just enjoy killing, he enjoyed performing. 2 weeks later, in San Francisco, taxi driver Paul Stein was shot in the head. The killer wiped down the taxi, tore off a piece of the victim's shirt, and mailed it to the Chronicle newspaper as proof. Police officers actually encountered a man leaving the scene, but due to a communication error, they were told to look for a black suspect, not a white male, as witnesses reported. The Zodiac walked right past them. This remains one of the biggest missed opportunities in criminal history. Over the decades, hundreds of suspects have been proposed, but 3 stand out. 1. Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester who owned the same type of weapons and wore a Zodiac-like watch. Handwriting didn't match. DNA was inconclusive, but he remained the prime suspect for years. 2. Richard Gaikowski, a journalist whose appearance and location matched key events. Former co-workers said he resembled the police sketch. 3. Gary Francis Post, a more recent suspect whose scars matched the Zodiac sketch. His acquaintances claimed he confessed. Again, no definitive proof. Each suspect fits some clues and contradicts others. The Zodiac seems to be a puzzle no one can fully solve. Some of the Zodiac's ciphers, like the infamous Z340, remained unsolved for more than 50 years. In 2020, a team of private codebreakers finally cracked it. The message was chilling, but revealed nothing useful about his identity. I am not afraid of the gas chamber. Other ciphers, like Z13 and Z32, allegedly contain the killer's true name. But these remain unsolved today. Did the Zodiac hide his identity perfectly? Or did he never include it at all? So who was he? A sadistic genius? A failed nobody seeking attention? A man who blended into everyday life? A military-trained cryptographer? A group of individuals rather than one man? The truth may be simpler, or much darker. Some investigators believe the Zodiac died decades ago. Others believe he lived a normal life, surrounded by people who never suspected a thing. The lack of DNA, lost evidence, and evolving leads make the identity of the Zodiac a ghost hidden in American crime history. The Zodiac Killer didn't just commit murder. He created a mystery that outlived him. His ciphers, letters, and taunts turned him into a legend of fear. More than 50 years later, investigators still chase his shadow. And the world still asks the same question. Who was the Zodiac Killer? If you enjoy deep-dive mysteries, unsolved crimes, encrypted letters, and psychological investigations, subscribe for more stories like this. Stay curious and stay safe.